Coach, pretty close to 2 weeks before game time. Thought we'd check in with you and see what's going on, and if you can give us kind of an idea of where we stand.
Well, awfully busy here in Wolverine country. First time in 54 years I hadn't either played the game or been coaching the game in the fall. So a little bit different for me, and I probably can say the same thing about my assistant coaches and the players that we're involved with right now. We officially started our spring football practice this past Monday and kicked off with that. We've got 2 practices under our belt now. We'll get to put pads on today for the first time. And I'm sure everybody's out there wondering what are the standards and the protocols going to be when we come to having home games. Our first game is going to be on the road on February 26th at Hendersonville, but our first home contest will be with our JV football team the night before. Game time for all our home football games will be 7 o'clock. And the North Carolina High School Athletic Association right now has given a stipulation where they're going to want to be 100 people in the stands. That does not include essential personnel like administration, ticket takers, trainers, coaches, people like that. But it's going to be limited, no doubt.
How do you anticipate those tickets being allocated?
You know, the allocation process will have to do with who's dressed out and who's playing, those kind of things. Of course, I'm not getting all 100. So our plan will probably be, we'll probably dress about 35. Given if everybody were to get 2 tickets, that'd be 70, which is a little bit more over my allocation limit. So I think it'll get down to the point to say, for instance, an 8-quarter kid that played the night before may not get an allocation. Kids that are dressed out and playing and on the field will be given, more of an opportunity to have. Of course, I think one of the things we'll have to ask our players is, if we give you a couple of tickets, or is your parents going to be here? So there's still some things to iron out with that, but that's kind of the way that'll work. There's probably going to be some bumps in the road. I remember I read a quote this morning about Bruce Arians. I'm not going to be able to give it to you perfectly, but he says, we had to learn how to first defeat the virus, then learn how to defeat our opponent. And they're the ones that held the Lombardi Trophy this past Sunday. So that's what we talked about with our players. People are talking about mask wearing and face covering, just what they normally refer to it from a sporting standpoint. Right now, we're being required to wear masks under our helmets. And for the first time yesterday, we gave that a test run. And we still got some tweaks to do with that. But it's an exciting time. Certainly, it's not the same probably as football in the fall. And somebody said the other day, well, Coach, this doesn't seem right. I said, well, 70% of a season is better than 0%. And that's where we are. The teams that can stay healthy, stay away from COVID-19 are going to be the teams that do well, I feel like. The teams that can adapt to the situation in the hand we've been dealt. I think our players and parents have really bought into that and have been very supportive. And as a head football coach, I'm certainly looking forward to it. Our first 2 practices have been awfully good. We're going to bring them in earlier today and give shoulder pads out and get to put pads on for the first time. We won't get to hit until being in pads for 3 days, but it'll look more like football this afternoon. I'm trying to be as positive as possible. It'd be very easy to be a Debbie Downer, I'm sure. But I think it's my responsibility as the head coach to kind of say, men, this is it. This is the opportunity we've been given. Let's take advantage of it. Let's make the most of it. And I think some good things can happen.